Hey there, welcome. Michael Scanzello here with Thrive Me Wild, and I'm so excited today because today is a day where we're going to get real. We're going to get real. We're going to get a little dirty, a little messy. If you haven't gotten into it yet, don't worry. It is the 30-day series. You can jump in anywhere and get a great little nugget, hopefully a little tidbit of 10, maybe 12 minutes, maybe a little bit more. I'm trying to cut it down with each video I do in each subsequent day to give you some actionable, practical techniques that I use as a real overthinker in real life, as the high achiever, that overachiever, that wants to just have that lifelong mission to just be focused. And I'm already distracted by the background with my camera here, but wants to be focused. As a high achiever, you want to be focused on that lifelong mission to go through all those barriers, to be unstoppable, to achieve what it is you want to achieve, your new level of success in what you do in your career or your business. So if you haven't checked it out, go to thrivemewild.com. There'll be a sign up right on the homepage. Put your email in, get the daily updates. After that, it's just like a weekly thing. Once in a while, I might send you out something in between if there's some cool, awesome thing I'm inviting people to. But yeah, it's really for you, just to improve your life, give you short, actionable things. So let me get into the action right now. And you may notice the title, which says, Happiness Sucks, Habits Rock. Or I think actually I made it Habits Rock, Happiness Sucks, for reasons of, keyword searching and all that. And here I am, got my little handwritten notes. Let's get into it. The biggest thing about succeeding at anything, doing any significant task, project, that new career you want, that new business, is consistency, right? If you talk to any successful person, they're going to say, I consistently worked on this one thing for a year, or maybe the better part of a year. And then boom, they have this massive success. They seem like that overnight success. But it didn't come out of anywhere, right? Out of nowhere. It came out of this consistent, intentional action towards what they wanted. Now I talk about that solution to overthinking called even think, which means when you're overthinking and you're just in action and failure, rejection mode, like, oh no, people are going to hate me, so I do nothing. And then, you do nothing with your life. Or you're underthinking, where you're just in reaction mode. You're just reacting to the immediate things in front of your face, that instant gratification. Maybe you're watching TV, you're sitting back, eating some, comfort food, and you're just doing what you need to do to make a living, but you're just racing around to make money right here, right now, and not thinking intentionally about a career or a business that can take you above this immediate, living paycheck to paycheck kind of moment, and getting to what I call even think, which is where it's just right down the middle. And it's more just focused on having enough thought that you can make a conscious decision. Has to be a simpler word to say than conscious. That you're making an intentional decision without so much that you're just going to go, it's too much, I'm overwhelmed, and you do nothing, you get anxiety and fear, or so little that you might make a bad decision at something that's kind of important. So how do you even think and get just enough information to know you can take the downside and know that, it's intentional, that you're acting with intention, with this lifelong mission behind what you're doing every single day to have significance and not just jumping around all crazy. So here's what happened to me today. I had one of those moments. I had one of those happiness sucks kind of moments because I didn't feel like doing anything today. I got up achy, tired, cranky. I didn't want to do this video. In fact, it's 3:00 in the afternoon now. Usually I do the video earlier in the day. There were some other issues I was dealing with. And I thought, you know what? That's overthinking. That's life, right? There's a lot of times where you're not going to feel like doing it. So should you go after your passion and your purpose and your calling, and you should feel this connection and this heart? I think your heart should be engaged in what you're doing. I definitely do. And that's that whole idea of a lifelong mission, is that your heart is engaged in it. It's something that you feel, if this was the last message, my last day on earth, I would want to deliver this message. It's that important. I think I talked about that on an earlier day in one of the other videos. And on day 4 as well, I talk about, in the time hacks, about having that dream shopping to find your dream activity, whatever that is, that new career, that business, that new level that you want to connect with people on or create something at, that's going to burst you through those barriers of saying, oh, I don't have any time. Like, well, yeah, something you really want, you make time for it. Somehow you made a time. There was that date with that really awesome person you wanted to go see. You made time in your schedule. There was that TV show you really wanted to watch. It was like the season finale. You made time in your schedule, right? So you have time in your schedule to do what you want to do in the busiest of schedules. And if nothing else, you have time to think what you want to think in your brain within that time frame. So let me calm down a little bit. I know I get a little bit excited sometimes. So here was a little story. I was trying to get out of bed this morning right? And here's my ritual. My practice of getting out of bed isn't to just like, I hear the alarm go off and it's just a vibration because my wife is sleeping. She gets up a little bit later than me. I just get up, I hear the vibration, I turn it off. I just reach for my toes. I go reach out to the end of my bed and I touch my toes. That's the first thing I do. It's this little micro action. If you haven't looked it up, there's this whole concept of the micro action. It's basically such a small action. It almost seems insignificant. It's so easy, fast to do, just, it's like nothing. It's like, why am I even doing this? I'm just reaching out, touching my toes. But then that gives me the idea that I remind myself that my next part of my routine is that I want to reach up and kind of grab my neck and, stretch my neck out, my shoulder. So I have to turn over and kind of sit on the bed to do that, right? And then my feet are kind of dangling with a really tall bed. And then I go, well, you know what? I might as well just put my feet on the ground. So I plant my feet on the ground. And then I go, well, I might as well go in the bathroom, take care of business there. I go in the bathroom, I'm stretching my legs. And each micro action leads to the next micro action. Before I know it, usually I just leave my clothes in the bathroom from the night before, whatever I'm wearing. I was actually not wearing this shirt. I keep this shirt in the closet to keep it nice for video purposes. But my pants are kind of dusty looking and whatnot because I keep the same pants and the same undershirt and everything in the bathroom. So I can just change really quickly. I don't have to think too much about what clothes to wear or what to put on. I think it was even said like Albert Einstein would just wear the same thing every day. So it was one less decision he had to make. So more of his cognitive power was spent making important decisions, not about what to wear for the day or how to do his hair. So the less decisions, and I know Jeff Goins is a best-selling writer. I've been involved in his group for a little while. He talks about like a ritual. A lot of writers do that. We have a certain desk and a time and a place where you're going to sit down and type. And that's really important because it makes it so easy to do that micro action, which is just to do that next little step towards what you want to do, towards that big goal. That's the last little bit of it. The number 3 part of this thing, besides the micro action, right? The ritual, having everything ready, having your place set so that you have this right environment, and then having your lifelong mission so that you know that there's this deeper sense of purpose behind it, this deeper mission. Hey, I got a like out there. Thank you very much, Alona, for joining me here. So you have this deeper sense of mission that drives you underneath all the micro actions and, why am I doing this? Why do I keep getting up? And I want to give you one more little thing here that I don't hear too much about. You hear a lot about people talking about these big goals and these big dreams. I'm going to talk to you about the little things, the little annoying things you have to do in your life. Back on day 4, I talked about releasing the pressure valve. You have this pressure cooker and there's all these big tasks and things to do. I was talking about tax day because that was coming up. That was yesterday, it was due. Finished my taxes. Woohoo! Anybody else finished their taxes out there? Hey, and Allah says you're welcome, or you're welcome back. And yeah, so you have all these little, things to do during the day that can soak up the better part of your day or the better part of your cognitive ability with being frustrated, with just looking at your life and going, I just have to waste my whole day doing the stuff I don't want to do. So for example, I had to go to the bank today, which sounds pretty awesome. I had to go put money in the bank, put checks in, but it was still time that I was like, I'm not really doing anything creative. I'm not really connecting with anybody. I'm not talking to somebody, trying to help them, motivate and guide them towards some breakthrough in their life, some insight. I'm just going and putting checks in the bank. So I did the micro activity. I did the micro action process where I was like, okay, let me just drive to the bank. Right. Well, first time, I guess I had to get the stuff out of the area where I have it here in my house. And I gathered all the checks together. I had to put them in the car, right? So I put them in the car and I drive to the bank, right? So I park at the bank. And the next thing I have to do is count the money. There's some cash and whatnot. Okay, I'll just count the cash. It's the next little micro action. And I'm like, well, I might as well look at the checks. So I look at the checks. I go, well, I might as well write my name on the back of them, so I can deposit the checks. And each little micro action, well, I might as well fill out the deposit slip. So I filled the deposit slip. Well, I might as well go into the bank and, hand it in and put the money in. So each little micro action leads me to the next one. So I'm not really focused on this whole thing of, oh my gosh, I have to go spend 15 minutes at the bank, wasting my day. I could be doing so many better things. And then this worry, this anxiety, this stress starts appearing. You start getting frustrated about these things that you have to do, that you don't want to do. And why isn't there another way to do it or whatever? But instead, little by little, I'm actually just doing it. And before I know it, I'm at the bank, handing them the checks, getting it done, getting out of there, getting on with my day. And I feel good now that I got something done that needed to be done for the day. Another quick example, washing the dishes. Don't always love washing the dishes. It's actually a great meditative experience. But I thought, okay, I'll just wash one dish, right? So you just put a little bit of soap and you wash one bowl in your sink, right? And you put that away and you go, let me wash one more. You wash one more. And then before you know it, you're washing like 10 dishes and the dishes are done. And I saw this pile of dishes in the sink. I thought it would take me maybe like 20 minutes. It took me about like, I think 7 minutes to wash the dishes. 7 minutes I probably would have, wasted just thinking about some random thing or stressing, worrying about, my future and where my business is going or something. But instead of just sitting there washing dishes, I'm able to disconnect. We talked about yesterday about mindfulness being in the present moment. What better way than to do a mindless task? One that takes really no cognitive ability, just washing dishes. And that's the point of this whole thing about habits and why happiness sucks. Because if you're looking for happiness, there's those moments, those spikes of happiness throughout your day, right? That are really exciting and awesome. And you land that big promotion or you get that big account, that big client. You do something exciting in your life, you meet this really exciting new person, you have this great conversation. And then the rest of your day is kind of like, nothing really happened. These days where you just don't feel it. You just don't feel like doing anything. So it sucks if that's all you focus on. But if you realize that life is more about the habits that you build and the consistent actions, and that over time you see this development of something you've done that's way bigger than any one moment of happiness. That's this journey where, I've had these projects that I've connected with people in 60 countries, teaching them magic, these instructional projects out. And that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't consistent about it, even when I didn't feel like it. Even when I felt like, maybe there's better things I could be doing. But I'm like, you know what? If I'm consistent at it, and I know connected to a bigger purpose, which is to put something out there that could then be out there in the world. And my creative energy is out there in the world and spreading and propagating and growing on, and people are carrying it on and running with it and sharing it everywhere. So get that big lifelong purpose. Get those crappy things you have to do during the day done. Just do those little micro actions to do the crappy stuff. And do the micro actions for the big stuff when you're just not feeling it. And know that it's okay not to be happy all the time. It's perfectly okay to just do what you have to do. And here's the trick too. Once you start doing those little micro actions, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel like, I did that. And I did this thing. And I did that thing. And now I'm doing this video. And now I'm almost done the video. So there it is. So thanks for hanging in there with me. And the cool thing is it starts as a process, starts as a ritual, right? As a routine. Okay, I'll do this thing. That'll link to the next thing. And some people call it triggers. It's basically just like a certain time of day where you normally want to roll over, hit the snooze button. Now you take the trigger of waking up in the morning to go and touch my toes and start stretching. And you're making these positive habits that it really becomes unconscious. Like this morning, even though I didn't feel like getting up, it was almost a subconscious pull that I just had to get up. I didn't know exactly why, what I was going to do with my time, but I was like, I have to get up, So you're going to have that subconscious pull. You're just going to want to do it every day. And it feels good. So do it, check it out, let me know. Comment below if you're watching this on a replay. I do read the comments. I will respond back to you. I will feature you. And I'm here for you, here to connect and collaborate. So thank you very much again for sharing your time with me. And again, check out thrivemewild.com. You can sign up for the daily updates and the emails. There'll also be an audio download you can get of this. And a blog content if you want to just read about it. The audio I think is cool. You can listen to on the go in your car, wherever you're at. And there's a free audio you're going to get as a gift. It's my 7 steps from purpose to profit. It is these instructional products I came out with for the magic community. It really applies to any industry and even to a career, because it's really just principles about doing something that has that lifelong mission to it that does make you get up every day and do it even when you don't want to, and put all those little micro actions in to get that big, massive change that we all want. So my final thought here for you today is you have your mind, you have your actions and your personality. And when you go out there and you live your full potential, you're going to empower others to do the same. Catch you next time.